Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that someone else has been making most of your decisions for years. What time you wake up, what you pay attention to, how productive you are, how confident you feel, how much progress you make, how healthy you become, how successful your future turns out. Most people would be horrified, yet that's exactly what's happening, not because someone is controlling you, but because something is. Invisible habits. The strange thing about habits is that the most powerful ones are usually the ones you never notice. They're not dramatic. They're not obvious. They don't announce themselves. They quietly repeat in the background, day after day, until they begin shaping your entire life. And if you've ever wondered why you keep ending up in the same place, despite wanting more, this video may explain why. Most people believe their future is determined by big decisions: choosing a career, starting a business, moving to another city, ending a relationship, making an investment. Those decisions matter, but they're not what shapes most lives. The real architect of your future is repetition. Think about it. Nobody becomes unhealthy from one meal. Nobody becomes fit from one workout. Nobody becomes financially successful from one good decision. And nobody ruins their life from one lazy afternoon. Life changes through accumulation. Tiny actions repeated so often that they become invisible. That's where the danger begins. Because once a habit becomes automatic, your brain stops paying attention to it. You no longer decide. You simply repeat. Maybe every morning starts with checking social media. You don't think about it. You just do it. Maybe every time you feel stressed, you reach for distraction. Maybe every difficult task triggers procrastination. Maybe every moment of discomfort sends you looking for entertainment. At first, these actions seem harmless. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, a little delay, a little avoidance, a little distraction, nothing that feels serious. But habits don't charge interest daily. They charge interest over years. That's why people often wake up one day confused. They wonder why they're not where they hope to be. They wonder why they still feel stuck, why they're still struggling with the same problems, why confidence never arrived, why success feels distant. What they often fail to see is that their daily routines have been quietly creating those outcomes all along. Every habit is a vote. Every repeated action is casting a vote for the person you are becoming, and eventually the votes become your identity. Here's something uncomfortable. Most people don't live intentionally. They live reactively. They react to notifications. They react to cravings. They react to moods. They react to convenience. They react to whatever captures their attention first. The average person believes they're in control because they feel in control. But feeling in control and actually being in control are very different things. Imagine someone driving a car while asleep. The vehicle is moving. The road is passing. The destination is getting closer. But the driver isn't consciously steering. That's how many people move through life. Their habits are driving. Their routines are driving. Their impulses are driving. And because the movement feels normal, they never stop to question it. One of the most dangerous habits isn't scrolling. It isn't procrastination. It isn't laziness. It's unconsciousness. Living without examining the patterns that govern your days. Because what you don't examine eventually controls you. The frightening truth is that your habits don't care about your goals. Your habits don't care what you want. They only care what you repeatedly do. You can dream about success every day, but if your habits are producing distraction, comfort, and inconsistency, your results will follow those habits instead of your dreams. This is where everything changes. Most people try to change their lives by changing their goals. They set bigger goals, more ambitious goals, more exciting goals, and then wonder why nothing changes. Because goals don't create transformation. Systems do. Think of two people. Both want to get healthy. One focuses on the goal. The other focuses on creating a habit of walking every day. After a year, who changes more? The person with the better goal or the person with the better system? The answer is obvious. Goals are moments. Systems are lifestyles. The same principle applies to every area of life. Success isn't usually a result of extraordinary effort. It's often the result of ordinary actions repeated consistently: reading 10 pages a day, saving a small amount of money, practicing a skill, choosing focus over distraction, having one difficult conversation instead of avoiding it. Small actions, repeated enough times, eventually they become powerful. The world celebrates dramatic transformations, but almost every dramatic transformation began with habits nobody noticed. So how do you regain control? The first step is awareness. For the next 24 hours, observe yourself. Pay attention to your automatic behaviors. Notice what happens when you're bored. Notice what happens when you're anxious. Notice what happens when you're uncomfortable. These moments reveal your hidden operating system. Second, stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "What do I repeatedly do?" Because your future lives inside that answer. Your habits tell the truth that your goals sometimes hide. Third, make small changes. Most people fail because they attempt dramatic change overnight. They try to become a completely different person by Monday morning. That's not how habits work. The most effective changes are often almost laughably small. Read 1 page. Do 1 push-up. Meditate for 1 minute. Save a tiny amount. Start small enough that consistency becomes easy. Remember, your goal isn't to impress yourself today. Your goal is to transform yourself over time. Finally, understand that every habit is an investment. Some habits pay dividends. Others create debt. Every day you're investing in a future version of yourself. The question is whether your habits are helping that future self or hurting them. Your life is not the result of what you do occasionally. It's the result of what you do repeatedly. That's why invisible habits matter so much. They're easy to ignore, easy to justify, easy to overlook. Yet they quietly determine where you'll be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. The quality of your future is being shaped right now by actions that may seem insignificant today. And that's good news, because it means your future doesn't depend on luck. It doesn't depend on perfect circumstances. It doesn't depend on finding motivation every day. It depends on what you repeatedly choose. The moment you become aware of your invisible habits, you gain something powerful. You gain the ability to change direction. And sometimes changing your life doesn't require a massive breakthrough. Sometimes it begins with simply noticing the habits that have been controlling you all along. So before you leave, ask yourself one question. If someone studied my daily habits for a month, what future would they predict for me? The answer to that question may reveal more about your future than any goal you've ever written down. And if you're ready to think more clearly, live more intentionally, and build a stronger version of yourself, subscribe to the Clarity Room. Because clarity isn't just understanding your life, it's learning how to change it.